Both Thomas and Whiteheadians want to somehow combine two tensions in a world of change. One is novelty and the other is order. The Thomists tend to emphasize order, and that's why they have a relatively unchanging metaphysics, formal metaphysics. The Whiteheadians emphasize change, but they have to search around for a principle of order, which turns out to be societies as structures or patterns coming out of the activity of these subjects of experience. But John Cobbett, among others, has confessed to me that I opened his eyes about the need to further develop the Whiteheadian notion of society, because Whitehead was so preoccupied with individual actual entities and their relations to one another that he overlooked that there had to be something that survived. And what he did in Process and Reality is a trick. He made God the principle of stability in the cosmic process, which meant that the world had no integrity of its own except the integrity, the stability that it found by being incorporated into God. And as a result, it was almost a type of pantheism, that God was using the world to enrich God's own life, and who knows whether these subjects of experience, finite subjects of experience, will survive or not survive. White said it's an open question. So basically it reduces to God creating the world and absorbing it back into himself, with the idea that God is both a component of the process and somehow superior to the process as the one non-temporal, non-time-bound entity in the process. There's an inconsistency there. And that's why many Whiteheadians are not particularly fond of Part 5, even though it's the most poetic and the most Christian-like, and where God comes up as a significant factor in the cosmic process. So what the Thomists can learn from, it seems to me, from the Whiteheadians is they've got to somehow incorporate evolution into Thomism. It won't work unless they can explain change as real and not always caused immediately by God. So the evolution has to proceed from the bottom up. And for the Whiteheadians, it's just the reverse. They have to get a principle of top down, and it's not God, but the structures that these subjects of experience put in place eventually control the activity of the subjects, so that they cannot just do anything at any time. Chaos would result. Whitehead saw the need for order, but he put it in God as a deus ex machina, so to speak, instead of searching around for an objective understanding of the world as a system in its own right, and therefore with patterns and structures proper to itself, instead of just being incorporated into God. That's how I read Whitehead.